with a branded manager experience or customer portal. Customer portal, I think, is where the value of IrisX becomes very tangible, as it enables you to create a fully branded, customer-facing experience pretty much out of the box. It's your company's digital face towards customers, giving them access to their entire fleet, performance insights, and service information for machines either rented or bought from you, all under your brand. I know that many of you probably have some form of a digital offering towards an end customer already in place, whether that's built in-house or externally by some consultancy that was hired to support. But what I would like you to think about during this webinar is essentially three things. First off, maintenance. Keeping secure and compliant in today's world, while also aligned with your core product updates, isn't actually a one-time job, right? It's an ongoing investment to take. And what we've seen in the market is that just the maintenance alone sometimes runs into the hundreds of thousands, or even into millions of dollars, factoring in the infrastructure costs, but even more so the personnel required to keep it all running. Second, I would actually love to hear from you in the chat or per email afterwards, whether you're happy with your current digital experience. Is it distributed to the customers? Are they actually getting the value you intended? Or are you still seeing some friction in adoption, usability, or actually feature uptake that you desire? And maybe finally, for those who don't yet have the digital end customer experience or considering giving it another try, think about the development cost in the first place. Not just building a portal, but building one that actually scales, stays fast, and delivers a consistent brand experience across your customers. And I'm sure some of those insights and thoughts resonate quite a bit with you out there. But I can just say that this is exactly where IrisX can come in, letting you leverage a solution that gets you to a great core experience around your machines, while giving you the option to tailor it to your brand and differentiated offerings. All of that, and I would almost guarantee you that, at the fraction of the cost you're currently paying today, while accelerating your time to market with new functionalities. With that being said, I would say let's jump into how that looks like.
All right, so similar to last time, we're now back in Trackunit Manager, inside our IrisX library. If you look down to the bottom left, you will see the active account. This is our Trackunit Rental Customer Portal demo account, which I will be using to walk through the branded experience example. In our library, you can see the different IrisX capabilities available in this environment. But as we discussed earlier, now I want to zoom in on one specific part, the branded manager experience. Before we start clicking around at the portal itself, I want to briefly anchor us in the documentation. So, what do we have here? The branded manager experience lets you invite your customers into a personalized, branded environment where they can easily keep track of the assets they've rented or bought from you and access telematics insights respectively. So, what are some of the key features of the branded manager experience? First, you can brand the entire portal exactly the way you want. Colors, logo, identity, so your customers feel like they are inside your digital platform. You can integrate with your ERP system to pull in additional rental, service, or commercial information and present it alongside the telematics data. Through Automation Studio, you can automate workflows directly for your end customers, from service notifications to onboarding flows and custom business logic. And if you want to go even further, you can build custom applications on top of the portal using the App SDK to deliver fully differentiated functionality. What is key is that you can create customer-specific setups and enable apps selectively, each configuration tailored to your customer's needs or, for example, your contractual obligations. One additional highlight is that it can be connected with your own platform as well, with true single sign-on support, making the experience seamless for your customers. So, how can this actually be used in practice? On the one hand, you can manage everything manually. If you have, say, anywhere from a single customer up to 100, the entire onboarding and portal setup can be handled directly inside the interface. No IT involvement, no engineering resources required. Alternatively, and this becomes especially important when you're dealing with thousands of customers or tens of thousands of machines, you can rely on an automated provisioning through ERP integrations and other backend connections. Customers' assets can be created and updated, as well as synchronized automatically at scale. For today's session, I want to show you a few things you can manage manually, starting with one of the simplest but most impactful elements: branding and theming. This is where you control the look and feel of the entire customer portal or multiple versions of it. Often the first step companies take when they want to make the experience truly their own. Here you can see an example we created, Ground Force Rentals. And in this view you can see how flexible theming options are. You can define the theme name and even control how it appears in the browser tab, which is a small detail but really enhances the branding feel. On the styling side, you can adjust all the key colors. You can upload both a condensed logo for the collapsed menu, but also a full-size logo for the expanded layout. And if you want, you can enable features like support access just with a single toggle. All of this done without any code. So let me just change the color very quickly to illustrate how you can give the portal a completely different identity with just a few configuration steps, and actually how quickly it's being seen at the customer side as well. And just to highlight this again, what you're seeing here is just one theme. You can create multiple themes for different customer segments, brands, each with its own colors, logos, and configuration. So what's next? You can get a full customer overview like this one you see here. This gives you visibility into all the customers you're serving, how many assets they have from you, and most importantly, any assets that require critical attention, have upcoming service, or already overdue. It becomes a really easy way to understand which customers need support, where issues are emerging, and how you can proactively manage the relationship. One example I want to zoom in is Rock Solid Construction, a fixtures contractor who currently has a couple of assets from us. 3 assets to be precise. From this view, we can also see whether any of these assets require attention, whether they have upcoming service, or if anything is already overdue. It gives a clear real-time overview of the fleet's status that your customer has. When it comes to administering the customer, you can manage all the basics here, setting up business units, adding the relevant contacts, and enriching the account with additional metadata in the customer details as seen here. But where it really gets interesting is the customer portal tab. This is where you control what the customer actually sees and how they experience your branded digital offering from a functionality perspective. This is where you decide exactly which functionality the respective customer should have access to. And that can be anything from allowing them to use APIs directly, to enable them a variety of Trackunit applications like service management, fleet inventory, or utilization reports. But it also doesn't stop there. You can also expose your own custom applications, but we will get into that a little bit later. And then over here on the branding, this is where you select which theme the customer should actually see. So if you've created multiple themes for different segments or brands, you can assign the right one to Rock Solid Construction just with a single click. And then lastly, to wrap up the customer portal experience from your side as the provider, you can invite the relevant contacts directly into the portal. They would receive an invitation email, can onboard themselves, and immediately gain access to the experience you have configured for them. To quickly summarize all of this straight out of the box. Great! So I think we're all curious to see how this actually looks from the customer's perspective once they gain access. So let me switch accounts here so we can take a look at the receiving end and see exactly what Rock Solid or any customer would experience when they log in. So let me just switch the account for a second, and here we are. Now I'm on the receiving end, logged in as the customer. The first thing we notice is the 3 assets assigned to this customer. 2 of the machines actually have seen recent data updates, while 1 hasn't reported anything for the last 6 months. And hey, let's keep that in mind for later, because maybe there's a reason for that. What stands out immediately is the custom branding and theming we set up earlier. Everything the logo, the overall look reflects the brand identity we configured on the provider side. Even the colors that we just changed are exactly seen here already. We also see the full set of applications that were enabled for this customer. Fleet inventory, service management, different reports and alerts. All the modules we actually have activated are now visible here. And now in the bottom left corner, I can actually confirm that I'm logged in as rock solid construction, exactly as intended. Hey, in the interest of time, let me quickly open one of the individual assets here, especially the one that hasn't shown any recent data. If I navigate to the contract information, we can immediately see why this might be the case. This machine actually is still in delivery and the rental period hasn't started yet. And that's most likely the reason why no connectivity data has appeared so far. In general, the customer, in this case the contractor, will only see machine insights once the asset has been properly provisioned to them. You can clearly see that here in the contract details, which were brought in to the ERP integration. Beyond that, the customer has access to a wide range of telematics insights, so connectivity status, movement, utilization, service information, and much more. So it's a really powerful experience. Just imagine what they can do with this level of visibility and how it actually strengthens your overall customer relationship and engagement. Hey, but speaking of that, Domokos, I think this is a perfect moment to hand it back to you. Any additional thoughts from your side?
Absolutely, Leo. So if I think about it in a connected world, digital experiences have become more than a key competitive advantage. Customer portals and branded platforms are no longer a luxury. So when I entered the construction software domain 10, 15 years ago, it was all about, wow, this is such a luxury. Right now, I really think about them as necessity. So if we think about consolidating data, automating workflows, offering all those self-service access that Leo just shared with us, customer portals significantly reduce the need for purpose-built maintenance tools. As an example, one 2,000 unit fleet operator, as Leo mentioned, let's just imagine as a contractor, construction company, general construction company, so over $400,000 in annual maintenance savings after moving their customers to a shared portal environment that you have just all seen. This saving has been achieved both in terms of manpower needed to maintain the systems, as well as the reduction of the systems that was in place ahead of moving to a shared portal platform environment that we have just seen. Also, digital presence pays off. I mean, not only that we have a branded look and feel, but also customers who engage through a branded portal are 10% more likely to stay because they feel connected, they feel informed, they feel empowered, both through transparency and real-time data. So we have seen this with tangible insights. If we double click on our product usage that we have seen through customer portals, we see 20% higher product usage of partner-built apps with customer portals versus standalone in-house build apps. Staggering numbers. And customer portals is built for all different sizes. We have seen customers scale it to 10,000 portals in a matter of months, and we have also seen partners scaling it to 30 customers. In essence, customer portals are not just digital touchpoints. They are loyalty engines and cost optimizers in one.